Hummingbirds are charismatic, zippy little creatures that typically subside on the nectar of flowers. Because they are so speedy, and their metabolism matches their speed, they must eat virtually constantly. These little birds, native to the Americas, are incredibly unique and specialized. Description of the hummingbird. There are 338 known species of hummingbirds, and each is slightly different in appearance. In general, hummingbirds are small birds, usually between 3 and 5 inches in length. They have long, narrow beaks used for extracting nectar from flowers. Their feathers are frequently iridescent colors, and range from brown to blue, green, purple, red, and pink. Interesting facts about the hummingbird. Hummingbirds are highly specialized creatures. Their metabolism, body design, appendages, and behavior all rotate around utilizing flowers as a food source. First point. Hoverbird. In order to drink flower nectar, hummingbirds must be able to access flowers. To do this, they have to be able to hover perfectly in place, while sipping from their flowery drink dispenser. They can fly both forwards and backward, and flap their wings anywhere from 12 to 80 beats per second. Second point. Hum. These extremely fast wing beats are where hummingbirds get their name. When flying, hummingbirds flap so quickly that their wings make a humming sound. The sound is very high frequency, and just audible to humans. Third point. Hovering is hard work. When you have to flap your wings 1,260 times in a single minute, you're going to burn some serious energy. Because they must flap so quickly to hover when feeding, hummingbirds have incredibly fast metabolisms. In fact, hummingbirds have the highest metabolism of all vertebrate animals. Fourth point. Sweet senses. Hummingbirds are the only birds with the ability to detect sweetness. This adaptation is what allowed hummingbirds to begin using sweet nectar as an energy source in the beginning of their evolution. Basically, hummingbirds have the ability to taste how sweet the nectar is and estimate if it has enough sugar to be worth eating. Habitat of the hummingbird. Hummingbird species can be found in a number of different habitats. They can be found in temperate and even alpine mountain climates, but are found mostly in the tropics and subtropics. The greatest numbers of hummingbird species can be found in Central and South America, particularly in subtropical and tropical rainforests. Does the hummingbird make a good pet? In most places it is illegal to own a hummingbird as a pet. Because they have such high metabolisms, it can be difficult to provide the proper nutrition for them. Hummingbird care. When in zoos, hummingbirds are provided with lots of flying space to establish territories. They cannot be housed with many larger bird species, as they are quite small. Their aviaries are outfitted with lots of natural vegetation, both as perches and sources of nectar. Sugar water feeders and fruit flies, or other insects supplement their dietary needs. The behavior of the hummingbird. Hummingbirds are highly territorial creatures. Male hummingbirds establish territories to attract mates. Within a male's territory, he will perform acrobatic displays and flash his iridescent feathers to attract females. He will also vocalize to attract female birds and scare away rival males. Because they are solitary creatures, hummingbirds only interact with one another when they are disputing territory or searching for mates. Reproduction of the hummingbird. If a male is impressive enough, the female will choose him as her mate. After breeding, the female hummingbird assumes all of the parental duties, and the male returns to his territory. The female hummingbird builds a nest of feathers, leaves, moss, and wool. She will bind the nest together and attach it to the branch using spider webs. The hummingbird chicks, being quite small, are very vulnerable to predators. Sometimes even large insects can prey on hummingbird chicks. To protect her offspring, Mama Hummingbird is very aggressive towards any intruders. After 3 or 4 weeks, the hummingbird chicks will learn to fly and become independent quickly after. Beliefs, superstitions, and phobias about the hummingbird. Hummingbirds were quite prevalent in Aztec culture, often worn as talismans around the neck, either as artistic representations or carvings, or actual hummingbird parts. They were seen as a symbol of energy, vigor, and hard work. The Aztec god of war, Huitzilopochtli, was often depicted as a hummingbird. It was even told that fallen warriors would be reincarnated as hummingbirds and butterflies, which is frankly a little concerning, as they wore hummingbird part talismans. Few facts about hummingbirds. First one. They eat a lot. Hummingbirds have a very high metabolism, and must eat all day long just to survive. They consume about half their body weight in bugs and nectar, feeding every 10 to 15 minutes and visiting 1,000 to 2,000 flowers throughout the day. In addition to nectar from flowers and feeders, these birds eat small insects, beetles, ants, aphids, gnats, mosquitoes, and wasps. So, hummingbirds are great to have in your backyard. Second one. They're the smallest. Hummingbirds are the smallest of all bird species. The bee hummingbird of Cuba weighs only 1.95 grams, or about as much as a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. It would be logical that if hummingbirds are the smallest birds, they would also have the tiniest eggs of any bird. For reference, a ruby-throated hummingbird's egg is about the size of a pea, and its nest is roughly the size of half a walnut shell. And they love to make their homes in gardens, because they are secluded and quiet. So please make sure to check branches before you do your spring cleaning in your yard. Third one. Female builders. Interestingly, only female hummingbirds build nests, and will lay only 2 eggs. The male hummingbird is not involved in raising young, and will often find another mate after the young are hatched. After hatching, baby hummingbirds will stay in the nest for approximately 3 weeks. Next one. They've got the moves. No other birds can fly like hummingbirds. They can fly forward, backward, and even upside down. Hummingbirds are also the only vertebrate capable of hovering for a period of time during the flight. Next one. And they're fast. Along with being agile, hummingbirds have speed and stamina. They have been clocked at nearly 30 miles per hour in direct flight, and more than 45 miles per hour during courtship dives. Not only do hummingbirds move from place to place quickly, but their body parts also move rather fast as well. A hummingbird's heart beats from 225 times per minute when it's at rest and more than 1,200 times per minute when it is flying. Its wings beat about 70 times per second in regular flights, and more than 200 times per second while diving. So, today we are talking about full details about hummingbirds. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.